Hello, Aldwyn Altuney here with a very dear friend today, someone I've known for 15 years or so. We actually started the Gold Coast Business Laughter Club together, and we did an amazing interview a few years ago called How to Overcome Abuse and Depression. Something we've both had is depression, and we've moved beyond it and are both running businesses and love our lives now. I am with the matchmaking queen, Tracey Korman. Welcome, Tracey.
Hey, thank you, Aldwyn.
Fantastic to have you here with us today. And we are going to be talking about love. In fact, 25 tips to live your best life and find lasting love. We are celebrating also the 25th anniversary of Two's Company International, which is Two's Company matchmaking service Tracey's been running for now 25 years. Extraordinary. You are now in the top 2% of all businesses that have survived that long in business. So we'll talk a bit about some of your tips around that too, Tracey. So welcome. So great to be chatting with you again, and wonderful that you have been in business so long and you've survived all the ups and downs of everything that has come with that. You've stayed on that roller coaster ride of life. It's just extraordinary. So how does it feel, Tracey, to be celebrating 25 years this year of Two's Company?
It's kind of a relief. And a little surprising, yes, a little surprising too, you know, with what transpired. It's a little surprising.
Yes.
It's fun too, you know.
Yeah. What have been some of the highlights and some of the more challenging times you've had in the last 25 years with business?
Well, the highlights were, of course, the happy couples, bringing people together, making a difference, you know, in their daily, weekly, or, you know, each month, or whenever you speak with someone, you know, we were able to make a difference. Yes. And of course, the success that came with the business. You know, we were in the Gateway building in Surfers Paradise in Appel Street on the 4th floor there for 15 years and were quite successful. So all of that was wonderful. We became known as the Gateway to Love. That was the affectionate term.
Gateway to Love is perfect. And I remember the office space you had there, the beautiful water fountain as you come in. It was a really zen space, I remember. Had a lovely feel about it. And we did some PR together years ago as well, promoting what you're up to there. And I remember doing a photo shoot there, and you had some lovely video work done there. So it was a fantastic venue. And that, you know, that is a long time also to be in one place with a commercial place as well in the one location. You know, a lot of businesses, you know, go from one place to the next year after year. So to have that stability must be very reassuring for people looking to find love. And I remember the PR we put out quite a few years ago was to beware of shonky dating agencies. Right, there have been a lot of changes in the industry over time. So for those that are looking for love here, what do you suggest around that? What are some things that people need to look out for when they're looking for a matchmaking service?
Well, they're better off with a service that's legislated, Aldwyn. The industry was legislated in Queensland in 2003. And
right.
So anyone using a service that's, you know, legislated, they're far better off because there's strict codes of conduct that we have to abide by, you know, which protects the customer. So they're far better off using a service that's legislated.
And how do they find that out if the company is legislated?
Oh, they can just ask or Google.
Okay.
Google, you know, which states in Australia are legislated for introductory services. They could do that, or simply ask for their license and proof of legislation.
Okay. And how do you find business now compared to 25 years ago when you started out? Is business becoming easier or harder, would you say? Or what sort of new challenges are there now for you in business?
I think it's just different, Aldwyn. I think it's just different, you know. I'm blessed. I still enjoy bringing people together. I still enjoy consulting and doing what I do. I won't grow the business again myself. I'm actually selling a share and going to be proactive in that regard to sell a share in the near future, working on that. So I won't grow it again myself, but I'm blessed that I still enjoy doing what I do, which is the matchmaking, consulting, and ensuring that, you know, people are getting what they need and what they pay for and what they want, you know.
Yes, well, technology certainly changed in the last 25 years. You know, Facebook wasn't around before 2004. You know, people weren't doing emails as much in the early days. You know, the whole world of technology and social media has changed a lot in the dating space, I think, and in life in general. So things seem to be speeding up, I think, in business nowadays, and it's important to stay on top of that technology. In saying that, there's nothing quite like personalized matchmaking. Now, you've had over 210 weddings that you know of. Is that correct in your business?
Yes, I know of. Yes.
That's awesome. And how many couples have you put together that have had happy relationships, roughly?
Well, it is thousands, because remember, it's been 25 years. So, and not everyone marries for various reasons. Of course, a lot do, but not everybody.
Yes.
And getting back to the social media, there was none of that 25 years ago.
Yeah. I bet you had faxes coming in back then, Tracey.
Yeah. The fax was always switched on, always running, and it was always
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they say business is one of the hardest things that you will ever do. It's one of the most challenging things to be in business. And, you know, you've had a lot of personal struggles too. So I'd love to hear some of your personal challenges you've had over time and how you've come through those, which we did cover in depth in our last interview several years ago. However, for those who haven't seen that, just to touch on some of the challenges that you've overcome and how you have kept it all together despite the challenges.
My precious son is the reason that I'm here today. So fortunately, that part of my brain was working where I wasn't prepared to leave him behind. So he's the reason that I am here today. You know, that's very fortunate.
Yes. So it's great to have a child to think about when you're feeling depressed or suicidal, as we talked about in our last interview. And we both shared actually how we've overcome depression ourselves. Simple things such as getting into gratitude, such as doing something creative, doing something you love. For me, I love the beach, you know, and actually even this year, you know, I got back from Namibia in February, and I went into a deep, dark depression because I got tonsillitis in Namibia, and then I went into the Gold Coast Hospital and got even more sick in there when they were injecting me with penicillin that I reacted to. And I remember talking to you, Tracey, and at that time in February this year, just before COVID hit, and I remember just saying, I'm so depressed, so down. I was sleeping ridiculous hours through the day. And I remember you saying to me, have you been to the beach, Aldwyn? And I said, actually, no, I haven't been to the beach, Tracey. And so I got myself to the beach and I started to do yoga and I nurtured myself back to health. And then COVID hit, and then more than anything, I wanted to help share truth and good news in the world. And so I've been even more inspired now since that low spot to help shift the way that we do news and shift the way that we consume news and how we do life. Because if you just watch mainstream media every single day, you will end up depressed because so much of it is so negative. So the thing is to have an objective view about what's going on. Always question everything that you are hearing in the mainstream media. Otherwise, you will get depressed. And there have been more suicides since COVID, etc. So, however, also during COVID, we've had a lot more people actually looking for love, and things have changed in the whole love sphere too, haven't they, Tracey? So can you share a little bit about that, about how things have changed since COVID as far as what people are looking for when it comes to love?
Yeah, so what I'm hearing from people is that it's more important that it's not just a desire or a hope or a wish, it's actually a goal that they've put at their priority, at top of their priority list, to have a loving, healthy future relationship. It's become a lot more important to people. It's no more just, oh, well, you know, I'd like to meet someone, see how things go, and this is what I'm doing with my life. It's different. It's different. I think people have realised that there's more important things to life than the materialism and the big house or the business and the fancy trips. What they've realised is that it's the simple moments or the special times that they have with somebody that are really important. Family, loved ones. That's what I'm hearing. There's a definite change in where people are coming from.
And you know, with crisis, we do appreciate what we have a lot more, I think, and we do take time to reflect on, you know, what we like about our lives, what we don't, what we want to create, etc. So I think that would all be impacting things too. And of course, you're seeing it on the ground, you're seeing it firsthand. Are you finding people getting more selective now with who they choose as a life partner or a match?
They're more wary because, you know, if things go wrong, they can really go wrong. So people are more wary.
Yeah, got it. More cautious. And probably because so many online scammers too in the last, you know, few years that have come out of the woodwork. There's people professionally out there ripping people off in the dating field, you know, the scammers that come through and say you're beautiful without knowing you and want to start a relationship, want to get married. I have marriage proposals on my Facebook. I'm quite blown away. I was like, I don't know this person from a bar of soap. I had one guy, he posed as a rich French art dealer and ended up being a Nigerian guy, you know, and he was messaging me these, you know, these photos and you know, saying how much he loved me and all this sort of thing. And I found out he was from Nigeria and he wasn't actually who he said he was. And whenever I wanted to do a video call with this guy, he always had some excuse. It was always about, you know, oh, the internet's not good here, or, you know, or, you know, whatever, right, whatever. So that's always a thing people, I suggest, look out for. If you are chatting to someone that you haven't met online, always see if you can do a video call with that person so that you can actually see who they are, and also check all their social media, etc. What are some other tips you'd give people to be wary of when they're online dating?
Well, absolutely. You want a video call. You want to just be sensible and just realise that not everybody is who they say they are, and always meet in the daylight hours, and never go back to a hotel or somebody's home, somebody that you've just met. I recently saw a program on, I think it was Four Corners. I was alerted to watch this program, and it's about a dating service that's very popular. They're making $1 billion worldwide, and yet they have had a lot of cases of rape and this sort of thing. And then those people are removing their profiles as soon as that incident's happened. Now, this company is ignoring those cases, which is, it's very disturbing and quite sad. So need to be wary. Need to be wary, people.
Yes, absolutely. Be careful. Good to see you, Dr. Mia Janjua. We did a bit of PR earlier this year and we put a press release out saying fear of COVID is making people sick, and we shared some great tips on how to boost your immune system. Good to see you, Dr. Mia, all the way from Canada, joining us. Great to see you. And if you are joining us now, I can see a few people on this live. Please pop into the comments. Where are you coming to us from? And do you have any questions about love for the matchmaking queen, Tracey? While we have her here, we're going to be chatting for about another 45 minutes. Any questions, pop them into the chat wherever you're watching this. If it's on YouTube, Media Queen TV on YouTube, or on Facebook, wherever you're watching this, please pop into the chat. Where are you from? And any questions about love for Tracey? And I can't wait to hear your 25 tips, Tracey, to live your best life and find lasting love. Shall we get straight into it?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Miss you too, Mia. Great to see you there. Thank you.
So 25 tips to living your best life and finding lasting love. Number 1, know that self-love and self-care is essential. Embrace it. Make self-love and self-care a priority in your life. Number 2, be right within yourself or work on getting there, meaning be in a happy place. Number 3, learn to love yourself first. Then be yourself always. Number 4, learn about relationships and what makes them work. Number 5, follow those learnings. For example, don't lose yourself or overinvest when dating or in a relationship. Number 6, focus on your own happiness. Often do things that you enjoy doing. Number 7, be honest with yourself ongoing and with others. Have integrity. Number 8, always respect yourself and show respect towards others. Number 9, communicate your needs well and communicate well in general also, or learn to do so. Number 10, know what you want in your life and a partner, and know what you need in a relationship, and work towards having both. Number 11, remember that balance is extremely important for a happy and healthy life. So let balance be a part of your life experience. Number 12, be good with who you are, your character, and work on anything about yourself that can be improved. This will increase your self-confidence and self-esteem. Number 13, choose a partner with care. For example, someone that shows violence towards others or threatens you is totally unsuitable. Number 14, know that you are the leader in your life and remember that. 15, make smart decisions to minimize drama and adversity and take very good care of yourself mentally. 16, allow time offered for quiet and peace in your life. Learn to meditate and then get used to doing so regularly. 17, honor you often. Start with what you've achieved or overcome, or both. Number 18, ensure that you share similar values with a partner. For example, the type of lifestyle that you both want in your future matches. Quiet and easygoing, or very active and sporty. Buy a house or travel a lot. And know your core values and don't compromise on those. Number 19, put into practice what you've learned about healthy relationships and what has life work well. Make this a priority. Number 20, go with the flow while not becoming complacent and be willing to compromise. 21, have mutual respect for one another and show it. 22, practice appreciating one another always. Number 23, be kind yet never mistreated. Number 24, take time away from your phone and don't use it when on a date or catching up with a loved one. You want to feel seen and heard, so do they. Number 25, be a positive individual. Optimism is bright and life is better when we're optimistic. Be fun and have fun.
Oh, I love it. I love those 25 tips. And actually, for those that don't know, Tracey and I also are a comedy duo called the Fiddly Gigglers. We often hit the GC spot and we also give each other the clap quite regularly. We have some clappers and we're always encouraging each other. And laughter is so important. And that's part of why we started the Gold Coast Business Laughter Club, was to lift people's spirits, decrease depression, anxiety, and suicide rates. I love those tips. And if you're watching this, hello, Bradley from Sydney. If you're watching this, what did you just get out of those 25 tips? Which one resonates most with you. Now, I must say that when it comes to love, not that I am any expert in this field because I've never married or had children, although I have loved a cat for 11 years who I adopted, and I have loved several men in my time. However, when it comes to committed long-term relationships, it's very important to love yourself first, right? To fill your own cup up and then help others with the overflow. And I remember you saying to me, Tracey, a while ago, the love you have for others, Aldwyn, is also there for you, right? The love you have for others is also there for you. And something I've been taking on recently after attending an online event is I've been looking at myself in the mirror, deep into my own eyes, and saying, I love you. I truly, truly love you. And this can be really challenging to do, right? It can be very challenging to do. However, with practice and getting that you are extraordinary as a human being, and that, often people do put themselves down. And if you're putting yourself down, if you're not feeling good about yourself, then how can you really, truly open yourself up to love with another person if you're feeling down yourself? Because hurt people hurt people. And this is where the cycle of abuse can happen in relationships, is where people have been hurt before. And so people tend to shut down, don't they, Tracey? Which is what's happened to me. I shut down. I've had traumas in the past where I had an ex-boyfriend who slept with my best friend in front of me when I was 16. And then at 22, I had an ex-boyfriend who strangled me after a 4-year amazing relationship. And so I've had this thing that I don't need a man for anything. And, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, keep busy with work so I don't need to get too close to a man. But actually what I really, really crave is intimacy and is that closeness. And whenever you open yourself up to love, I have the props here today, whenever you open yourself up to love, potentially, yes, there can be pain that comes with that. So Tracey, now I know this is a common phenomenon. I know a lot of people, they start to get close to someone and often they will just go running because they're scared of the repercussions of what might happen if they get too close to someone. So what are some tips you can give around that, around how to overcome fear of intimacy or fear of getting hurt? Thank you, Bradley. Self-care and bath relaxing. Yes, very good. I like that. Thank you, Bradley. Yeah, what are your tips around that, Tracey?
Yeah, so those 25 tips that I shared, if people read those, get to know them, embrace them, and make them a part of their life and a part of their dating and relationship journey moving forward. Remember that you are the leader in your life. Self-love and self-care has to be a priority. We need to take good care of ourselves in order to be able to live a healthy, happy future and to be able to be of service to others. If we don't take good care of ourselves, we're no good to anybody.
Yes, that's true.
And realize that everybody gets nervous when they're at some point in life. So deep breathing, meditating, learning to meditate's very powerful. It actually changes brain chemistry. Learn about relationships, what makes them work, what things cause them to fail. That improves self-confidence and self-esteem. Be honest, have integrity. That improves self-esteem. So all these tips are a wonderful way to become a better person, live a better life, and to have better relationships and something that is loving and lasting.
Yeah, awesome tips there. When it comes to fear, though, fear can be very subconscious, right? It's like the iceberg, it's like the tip of the iceberg. Our conscious mind is up here. They say we use 10% of our brain, and 90% is under the iceberg, the massive bit under the water level, right? And a lot of people are operating in their subconscious, and they've got beliefs such as I'm all alone, or I don't belong, or I'm not good enough, or there's something wrong here. A lot of people operate from that space, from one of those 4 spaces. So if people are aware, they're conscious that they have fear around intimacy or fear around getting too close to a partner, what specific advice do you give for anyone who knows they have fear of getting too close to a partner?
Okay, so they need to take on a journey of self-development. That's called a love block. When there's a fear, it's called a love block. Find out what that is and then work on improving that area of your thinking, and learn more about relationships, what makes them work, and what has them fail, and learn more about yourself. So realize if you have a love block, that there is a different way of thinking which will enable you to take a step forward to reach the goal of having the partner and love that you want and deserve. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we've both done landmark education. We're both landmark graduates. We've both done many courses. I know over the years, many different courses. I've done, you know, hypnosis. I've done family constellation work. I've done NLP. I've done all these different things. And, you know, we're both actually trained coaches. You're also a counselor, Tracey. So what are some modalities that you bring to your counseling to help people one-on-one with their, you know, overcome fears or to open themselves up to love more?
I think I have the gift now of realizing what people need. All my counseling clients have done extremely well in relatively short periods of time. For example, somebody had a serious issue for 5 years, and I think it was 7 months working with that person. It was 7 months working with that person. They'd had a huge shift where nobody was able to help them in 5 years. So I just have a gift now, having survived and lived through and with the challenges and adversity from my past. I now have a gift of seeing what somebody needs, where they're at, and what's required to become unstuck or to take the step forward that's needed to make the change.
Half the thing I think is just getting conscious that you have a block. If you notice a certain pattern in relationships, because a lot of people attract the same kinds of partners, right, until they get whatever learning there is to get. And, you know, I know myself, I've attracted a series of, you know, emotionally cold, hard men, you know, and that's kept me safe because I haven't had to get too close to them because, you know, emotionally they're distant anyway. And so that way I'm not going to get hurt, right, which can keep me in comfort zone around relationships.
It comes down to drawing a line in the sand and saying no more. I'm going to make the change, make the commitment to making the change, and sticking with that. And if that doesn't happen, then you're not really committed.
Yes, that's right. How committed are you? This is a great question to ask yourself. How committed are you? And, you know, it is extraordinary when you have two amazing people that are on this path where they're both walking side by side, powerfully through life, respecting each other, you know, rather than often I see in relationships that people, you know, you have an imbalance where one partner leans on the other and is very insecure and tries to squash the other partner rather than encouraging that partner to do what they love in life and to, you know, and to give a certain amount of freedom within that relationship too, where they walk side by side rather than one leaning on the other. And I've seen that a lot. And as we say, hurt people, right? So if people have been hurt in relationships and have jealousy issues and things like that, it's often from some insecurity in the past where they've had that experience. And maybe they haven't let that go, right?
That's why it's so important for people to become their best, become healthy, know what has relationships work, because then you have two individuals that can travel the life and the journey together instead of being codependent or, for example, being passive and aggressive. Assertiveness is the healthy way, and have two people that are side by side, not leaning on each other for support in a major way, because that's not healthy. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Now, there is a book called The 5 Love Languages. Now, I'm not sure what you think about that, Tracey, but, you know, they say that people like to receive love or give love, show love in 5 different ways. And, you know, one of them is acts of service. Some people like to do lots of nice things for their partner and like to receive love in that way. Then there's the quality time. Some people like quality time, like to give and receive quality time. And then one is gifts. Some people like to give and receive gifts. And then there is, what else? What are the other two? There's gifts, quality time, acts of service, touch is another one. Touch. Some people like to be touched and some people don't like to be touched as much. And then the other one is words of affirmation. So saying nice things to people. Right. So they're the 5. And it's interesting when you look at that, and you know, I know my brother's been in a 20-year relationship, and he loves the 5 love languages. You know, he swears by them. He thinks they're amazing. What do you think of them, Tracey? Do you think there is some validity in that?
Yes, there is. I think a number of people, I know myself, there's not just one language. There's a few.
Yes.
There's a few that are important.
Yes. And then Dr. John Demartini, he talks about values, right? He talks about, you know, what are your values versus your partner's values? And, you know, that's something else that is a great thing to delve into, to work out what your values are. Like, for example, if a woman's value is her children, and for a man it's providing for the house, then linking those two together. So if a man provides for the household and a woman cares about the children, then linking, okay, how does working hard for a man to earn the money to provide for the house, how is that going to support the children, right? For example, right?
Well, that's in one of my 25 tips, is to ensure that you share the same values. So you need to have that conversation before deciding to marry, for example. It's really important to ensure that you share the same values. There's no point somebody wanting a career and further studies and travel, and the other person is wanting a quiet life in the countryside. You know, they're two very different. No point somebody wanting to save to buy a house or houses, and the other person wants to travel a lot and you know, spend the money on all sorts of, you know, entertainment and pleasure. Ensure that you have the same values.
Yes.
Because there's no connection otherwise.
Yes. Or at least, you know, align your values, because I guess as individuals we probably will have different values essentially. However, if you are able to talk about what your values are, what your highest values are, and able to link them together so that you have some cohesion and you know, working together with your values, then that's really crucial. And, you know, Dr. John Demartini, he actually covers several ways you can discover what your values are. And one thing is to look at how you spend a lot of your time. That's one place to look to discover your values. Another thing is to look at your environment, look at what is important in your environment, right? And also where you invest your money. Where do you invest your money? So for myself, I invest a lot in personal development, in business courses. So obviously my business is very important for me. And also education and personal development is very important for me, because I invest a lot of time and money in those areas, right? And work has been very important for me. So now the thing for me is to balance. So, you know, if I really want to experience an amazing, loving relationship, for me, it's now a matter of actually stepping back a bit from the business and actually allowing the time for a beautiful man in my life. And that's all possible, right? There are some extraordinary people out there. And I have actually recently met an amazing guy, and we'll see what happens. We'll keep you posted on that one. So yeah, it's nice to sort of feel love, to feel that, you know, people say, oh, you just know when you meet the one. What do you think about that, Tracey? You know when you meet the one. Do you know when you meet the one?
Yeah, souls recognize each other. It's energy. You know, we're all energy. So souls definitely recognize each other. And these 25 tips, I'll give you a copy, and I have a copy available to anybody that would like them. And I really encourage people to take them on board. They really are a way to have a healthy, happy, wonderful life and relationship.
Yes, they're amazing tips. And we're actually going to be sharing them also on social media. So please make sure you follow Two's Company International on the Facebook page as well. We are going to be launching all of those tips as social media images that are going to be launched actually on November 6th, because we have an official celebration online for Two's Company. Now, Tracey, would you like to share what's happening for your official celebration November 6th? We have the promo already online. It's going to be an amazing 2-hour event. So I'll let you share about that.
That's right, November the 6th, 3 p.m. till 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And that's the official 25th birthday celebration for Two's Company. I'll be sharing the 25 tips again. We have an amazing guest speaker who'll be speaking about relationships and how to have an amazing relationship as a couple. And we also have a guest speaker who will be sharing an incredible anti-aging system product that has become available that I am blown away with as well. And, of course, there's you there and me there.
Yes, we'll be there. So I'll be emceeing.
Wisdom. Aldwyn.
Yes, we'll be sharing our wisdom, absolutely, and we'll be having a few laughs as well. Anastasia Grace is going to be sharing how to maintain a healthy relationship as a couple. Tracey will be there also sharing her 25 tips again, how to live your best life and find lasting love, and also some background on Two's Company as well. Look forward to hearing some more background on that. And Michael Firth is the guy who's speaking about the anti-aging technology and this amazing new product. And then we also have 25 prizes we are going to be giving away live as well for people who join the live stream. So have a look online. It's called Two's Company 25th Anniversary Celebration. You have a look at that on Facebook. We'll pop it in the link here as well. We'll pop that link for the event, and we'd love to see you on the live stream. It is going to be live streamed to all the places you are watching this right now, on Facebook and on Media Queen TV on YouTube, and we'll be sharing it far and wide. So that will be a fantastic celebration. And we had a physical celebration recently with about 20 people at La Piazza, Runaway Bay, which was awesome as well. We had a beautiful 25th anniversary cake that we shared, and beautiful spot there right on the water. And Gold Coast Bulletin came out and did a photo shoot with one of the happy couples that you connected. Was it 9 years ago that you connected that couple?
11 years.
How many years?
There were actually 3 happy couples at the table.
3 couples. 25
people were invited, but there were 5 that couldn't make it. Because remember, I only decided, I think it was the month before, that I need to have a party. Can't let this time go by without having a party. And everyone had a lovely afternoon that day. I was concerned that you always want your guests to be having a super good time, and they all really enjoyed it.
It was wonderful. The cocktails were flowing. So the couple that the Bulletin reported on, how many years have they been together now?
We've been together 11 years.
11 years, right, 11 years. 11's a master number. That's awesome.
They've travelled and, bought a house together and all that. And you can still see that they're still so much in love.
Yeah, they were so sweet together. They're so beautiful.
And there's another couple there on that day. They've been together about 5 months now, and that lady's 57 years of age and said she has never, it's a testimonial available, I think it's on the website. She's 57 years of age and never in her life has she known love like she does with the relationship that she's having now. So that's really lovely.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
There's another lady there sitting at the end of the table. They'd been together for 20 years and had an incredible, amazing relationship. Very happy for the 20 years.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, some beautiful couples there. And it was a wonderful event, and thanks to La Piazza Runaway Bay for providing a beautiful space there. It's so nice to actually go out and go to a physical event at the moment with all this COVID fiasco going on. It was really nice to connect in person. And, of course, we are doing the online, which now we can reach people all over the world with the online world. So very grateful for that too, for the technology to be able to reach people with that. Now, I want to have a chat about love and about a natural state for human beings. And I know this is a bit of a controversial area. Now, my parents this year, they celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary, right? And the stats are now, I believe it's 60% of marriages end in divorce, right? So it's pretty crazy rates of divorce happening at the moment. And I've done a bit of research into, is it natural for human beings to be monogamous? Is it natural? Now, apparently, it is natural for human beings to be monogamous for 8 years. And if they have a child together, it extends by 4 years per child. Now, that's according to some stats, right? Now, in saying that, I believe that if you choose to be committed to one partner over time, you can definitely make it happen, right? And look at the animal kingdom. There's some animals come together for life and stay together for life, and many don't as well, right? So it's an interesting thing, like marriage came about through the churches, through religion. So what are your thoughts on that, Tracey? Do you think it's natural for human beings to be monogamous for life?
I do. But perhaps that's because the thought of that really appeals to me. I think it comes down to the individual and values and what one desires. Did you know
And I think
penguins, did you know that they are monogamous?
penguins.
And they'll use a stone as a form of like an engagement ring.
Oh, that's so cute. I
I
love it. Penguins, that's so cool. That's so cool. I must say, I love watching David Attenborough documentaries, and there's a really, really funny one about hedgehogs mating. It's about a 3-minute video, and David Attenborough's there, and he says, now, here's a male hedgehog chasing a female hedgehog, right, in his yard. He's actually showing in his yard in England. And it's so funny because the female pops the spikes up, right? As the male starts to get close, the female's popping the spikes up. And so the moral of the story is that when hedgehogs mate, the male has to tread very carefully so he doesn't get poked by the female spikes. It's just hilarious. It's so funny to see animals dating. And then, you look at bonobos. Now, bonobos are a type of chimpanzee that are very closely related to human beings. They have 98% of the same DNA, apparently. And now bonobos, they are so promiscuous. They are, girls go with girls. The women rule the roost. If there's any arguments, they just have sex, and it's all good. They sort things out with lovemaking. Make love, not war. It's quite funny to watch the animal kingdom and see how they do things. And is it right? Is it wrong? I guess there's always going to be judgment around what's happening with people. And they say there's 3 C's of relationships. One is compromise, one is commitment, and one is communication. And I do believe communication is the most essential thing with all relationships, whether it's a love partner or friendships. Being able to communicate and share what you're feeling and what's going on for you, I think, is absolutely crucial. Now, Tracey, being a counsellor and being in this game for so long, what are some of the biggest issues you found that people have issues around communicating?
Well, often what will happen is, one partner will, let's say one partner is feeling neglected. Now, unless they verbalize that, the other partner is unaware. The partner that feels neglected will retreat. And then the partner that's unaware thinks that they're retreating for another reason, because they don't want to be in the relationship, or they're not feeling it with their partner. Does that make sense?
Yes. And then they don't know how to talk about it.
Yeah. So one of my 25 tips is about communication. It is essential for a lasting relationship to be able to communicate well how you're feeling, your needs, where you're at, what's on your mind. It's essential to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great. And I heard a great tip around that when you open up that conversation. Sometimes it can be challenging to sort of open up a conversation about an area where you're feeling disempowered, or, you're feeling a certain way. So rather than making your partner wrong and saying, you do this, you do that, and yelling at the partner when you get frustrated, no, that's not the way to do it. So a great way is actually say, I feel this when this happens, I feel this, right? That's one way you can open that conversation, right?
Yes. I'm
Yeah.
feeling this way. Yes.
I'm feeling this way when this happens, right?
Yes, and I feel I need to share this with you. And then that opens a conversation. The person knows clearly then where you're at, and they don't have to guess, assume, shut down. People assume a lot of things, and it's usually not right.
Yes, that's why assume means making an ass of you and me, right? Assume.
So one person can assume, oh, my partner's not feeling close to me today, when they may be thinking that you were not feeling close to them. One retreats, the other shuts down. The relationship can lead to failure.
What about now the book by John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, right? Now in there it talks about men being in man cave space, that men need their man cave space. And if a woman goes into that man cave and starts to harass him and ask lots of questions, he will get very annoyed, right? So what are some of the main differences with males and females that it's important for us to learn to respect about the opposite sex?
Well, that's one of my tips as well. Remember to show and have respect for each other. So realize that time away is, it's a healthy thing to adopt anyway. It's a healthy way to live in a relationship, but realize that that's important. And man gets home from work and he needs to shut off and have some time to relax and unwind. And so the partner, she needs to realize that, or in any relationship, the partner needs to realize that, okay, they need their time, they're unwinding. It's not all about me. It will be later. It's okay. And give them their time to unwind and relax and, ease into the evening.
Yes, because guys like to logically sort of work things out in their own head. And sometimes, apparently in this man cave space, they're actually not thinking anything at all. So when a woman's saying, what are you thinking? They're actually not thinking anything sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas women love to chat. We just love to talk everything out and just chat about everything. And then guys come along and want to fix it. But sometimes we just want to be heard. We don't want it fixed always, right?
And that's one of the worst things she can do, is to keep asking a man, what's he thinking? Don't do that, women. Don't do that.
Yes.
Let him back. Let him have his time. Lean back and he'll come to you.
Yes, that's a good one for me to learn, that one, because I just want everything now. I'm impatient. Learn to take a breath and not take things so seriously. If a man's retreating, right, just give them space. And in tribal times, there was times when the women had their space together, where the women would go out into the field and they pick the berries and the fruit, etc., and the men would go out hunting, right, together. So, and then at the end of the day, they'd come together around the fireplace and they'd eat and celebrate and dance and do their tribal things, right? So I think there's definitely a place where men need their men time, women need their women time, and then there's a time for them to come together. So honoring that as well, not like a lot of people get in relationships and then suddenly, all their friends get forgotten. They suddenly, I don't know if people just have sex for 3 years straight or what goes on, but some people, they just disappear, off the planet, and then you don't hear from them until they come out of this, amazing love state that they're in, that they're sort of, seem like they've sort of stepped out of reality, out of the world for a while they're so into each other. And so it's important, I think, there is actually to remember that there are others in your life
Because that's not healthy. That's not a good way to have a lasting relationship either, Aldwyn. You know, have your free time, enjoy what you do, and then when you come together, you're enjoying each other more, and that time can become quality time instead of, you know, just hanging out together because you've allowed that to happen. You haven't maintained your friendships or kept up your dance class or your table tennis sessions. It's really important that people do that. These 25 tips, I tell you, are a really, really important way to have a happy, healthy life and a loving and lasting relationship.
Yes, absolutely. Now there's some people talk about the 7-year itch, right? People get restless around 7 years. And I do believe if you're not growing together with your partner, then you will be growing apart, right? So then again, it comes back to, you know, mutual respect, to, you know, treat others as you want to be treated, you know, with all relationships. And being able to talk about things, loving yourself, loving what you do, encouraging your partner to love what they do, to follow their passions, because the more they follow their passion, the more happier they will be, and they will bring that to the relationship as well. So bringing that love right around, I think, is really, really crucial. So Tracey, when people come to Two's company, how do you work with them? How can you help them find love? What's the process?
Well, we create a profile and find out lots about them, and then lots about the type of person that they wish to meet. And then a complementary compatibility match is processed. And then a membership's worked out for that person, and we'll commence working on their behalf.
Excellent. And anything you've noticed lately with what people are looking for more in that area or less of? Or we talked a little bit about this at the beginning, but have you noticed lately, are people specifically wanting, like, do women always want wealthy men, for example? Do they always want a guy that's financially stable, or are they quite happy with guys that aren't financially stable, for example?
The lady has her own home and is perhaps independently, you know, financial, then she's looking for somebody who is similar in that regard, for the reason that she doesn't want to attract somebody that's going to, you know, he needs somewhere to live, or
Right.
we want to take half her house, something like that. But I know for myself, for example, the person's character and how they treat me is far more important than how much he has in the bank or what he has in the way of assets. So, and that can be said for a lot of women. A lot of women, it's how he treats her. Is he well-mannered? Is he hygienic? Is he a good person? Is he a good guy? You know?
Has he showered this century? Has he showered? Has he? Has he?
Very important.
Yes. Self-care. Wash yourself.
Be hygienic. How good.
Yes, smell good. Yes, smell good. And kindness, integrity, honesty. These are things I know that I look for in a partner. And what about guys? What are they looking for in women generally?
So these days they're looking for a good lady who is genuine. She's not looking for somebody to, you know, pay the bills or take around the world, or, you know, I mean, that's lovely too, and that's romantic. But she's looking for a good guy, and he's looking for a good woman. That's become more important these days because of the scammers, and because, you know, relationships can get nasty, and people do terrible things to each other, you know, and somebody ends up suffering greatly. So people are more wary, and they want somebody who is of good character, who's going to treat them well, and somebody that's authentic.
Yes.
What you said before, what I'm hearing a lot of, and what I'm hearing more of, is that the loving relationship has become really important. It's not just a wish or a desire, or yeah, that would be nice in my future. It's actually become really important.
Yes, yes. And, family values, there's a lot of broken families. It seems to be almost the norm now, the broken families, and, step brothers, step sisters, step mothers, like it's interesting dynamics now with the nuclear family, particularly in the Western world. Europeans and maybe Asians, Indians, etc. Sort of closer with families. I mean, I'm generalising there, of course, but I know for myself, I have Greek, Turkish, Ukrainian background. My parents 50 years together this year, and it's becoming rarer hearing those stories, of people that have been together a long time. And it's almost like with the online dating world that people kind of feel, I can just, swipe left, swipe right, there'll be another one around the corner, that someone else might be better, the grass might be greener on the other side. So what do you suggest for people that are restless like that, and that just seem to be never satisfied with who you might present to them, for example, as a match? What do you say to those people?
Well, the broken families is the reason why people need to learn to have lasting, healthy, lasting relationships. So none of us were taught that stuff. And relationships fail because people haven't known what makes them work. The more people learn what makes relationships work and succeed, of course, the less broken families that we'll have. The less broken families that we have, far better that is for humanity and society, of course.
Yes.
So it's really important.
And at the same time, it takes two to tango, right? So, you might have one partner really wants to keep it together, but if the other doesn't, then, what is that person to do?
Sure. Embark
let
on
go.
Sorry?
Let go, I guess. They need to learn to let go.
Well, they need to learn to let go, yes. Stalkers are not what we want.
Yes. And, that can be challenging. Can be challenging to let go sometimes. And there's a great analogy in Landmark where they say, be committed, not attached. Be committed to not what you want, not attached to what that's going to look like. And I really love that. I think it's a very powerful thing to remember. Sometimes we try and control things too much, and everyone's on their own path. And, I often think, having had 4 friends who've taken their own lives now by the age of 45, and, being in some really dark places myself over time, whenever I've lost someone in my life that's dear to me, it's another reminder to just make the most of every single moment, no matter who you're with. Don't stress too much about the future or about the past, right? Be in the present moment, be in the now. Put those phones aside when you're on those dates, and when you're with your partner, really connect, consciously connect with your partner and really get to know them and appreciate them. I think appreciation is also really crucial. Appreciate, because it can be too easy sometimes to look at the things you don't like about someone, whereas if you focus on what you do like, then you'll see more of that, right? So focusing on the upside.
You'll see more of that. If you look at somebody in the light that you wish to see them in, they'll actually become more of that kind of person. It really does work that way. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. That's right. What you focus on will grow, or what you think about and think about, you will bring about, right? So focusing on, what's possible, what is possible for yourself, for your partner, for the relationship. How would you like to experience life together? Do you want to go on adventures together? Do you want to have a date night? Do you want to explore some different things sexually? I don't know. I mean, what is it for you? Being able to talk about, have those sort of conversations too. And, being aware when you're in, your feminine space or your masculine space. And I know that this can be, a lot of men I speak to, they feel emasculated. They feel like women, they can't please a woman. They with some women, right? Some women that they go to be a gentleman, they want to open a door for a lady, but she says, oh no, I don't need that, or so things like that. It's very interesting the times we're in at the moment with a lot of women being very masculine and a lot of men being very feminine even. It's very interesting time. So just being conscious of that as well, I think is really crucial.
And that's why these 25 tips are essential, really.
Yes. Do you have, out of those 25 tips, is there say your top 3? Can you think of your top 3 tips in those 25 tips that you would like to?
I'd have to say self-care, self-love, appreciation and respect, so showing appreciation and respect for each other, and the communication, becoming a good communicator. I'd have to say that they would be probably the top 3.
Yes, beautiful. I love that. And what do you love most about your job, Tracey?
I get to make a difference in people's lives. They share so much with me about their past, their present, and their future. And I get to be of service. That's what I really like. Well, I'm always searching for that person, that one. We kind of work on that together,
Yeah, beautiful. Well, there's no greater purpose than being of service, they say.
And then the joy that comes with that is my gift. That's the gift I receive, is the joy.
Yes. Imagine if more people loved themselves and loved each other and were kind to themselves, kind to each other. Imagine what kind of world we would live in, right? If people brought that kindness and compassion to people in their life, it would be an amazing world.
It would.
It is a very
world we're living in now.
Yes. Well, it's very interesting times at the moment, that's for sure. It's very interesting times. We can choose at any moment. We can choose love. We can choose presence. We can choose to be in the now. We can choose to go within, to tap into that power within, and without that quantum field, there is so much that is possible for us as human beings. And, the more you work on yourself and lift your own energy up, the more you will impact those around you as well. So very important to have a good, long, hard look at yourself. And remember, look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. I truly, truly love you. Any final commitment?
Commitment is key, Aldwyn.
Yes, commitment. Be committed to yourself. Be committed to your partner. Be committed to love.
And whatever it is you want.
Yes, whatever you want, be committed and see yourself in that situation and be happy and grateful in the moment for that situation to manifest that quicker for yourself. Yeah. So if you say, I'm going to do this, or I would like to do this, or it's sometimes you sort of push it out to the future. Whereas you say, I am this, you visualize it, you do a vision board, can be helpful as well. Visualize it in the present, like the movie The Secret talks about, law of attraction. What you put out will come back.
Commitment. People don't realize how strong they are, I think. My past has been incredibly painful. And yet, as I said, that part of my brain was working where I was not prepared to leave my son. So I had to be committed to find out more, to overcome, to survive, to do everything that I could possibly do to find the solution. And so that goes with whatever it may be. If you want to run a marathon, or you want your loving romantic relationship in the future, if you want to be the best weight and health you've ever experienced, it's commitment. Be committed.
Yes, absolutely. Love that. Love that. Now, future direction for the business, Two's Company, 25 years. Future direction, you are looking for someone to come into the business. Is that right? Would you like to
Yeah,
share a bit about that?
I will sell a share in the business. I have decided to do that, and I will be speaking with a couple of people in the next week, business broker and somebody that I've already emailed a document to. I won't grow the business myself again, so therefore there's an opportunity for somebody to become involved, and then together we can grow the business. They can take the reins, and I'll remain on board, and that way I can be the perhaps the navigator or the success of the business moving forward. I still enjoy what I do, but somebody else can take the reins.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. And you have also coming up, you have an online space as well. You'll be doing the online dating. I believe that's being developed at the moment, the online dating section.
That is in the pipeline.
In the pipeline, yes. And it's a fast-growing industry. The whole online dating world is massive. So massive potential with Two's Company for the future. 25 solid years behind you, which is such great foundation for anyone who's looking to invest in a business and invest in something that potentially will bring a lot of love to people and also impact the world on a bigger scale. So congratulations, Tracey. It's been extraordinary 25 years for you and such a milestone. Congratulations. It really is wonderful and so great to be part of this. I have put the link for the Two's Company 25th anniversary celebration on November 6th. It will be 3 till 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Brisbane, or 4 till 6 p.m. Sydney time, Melbourne time, AEDT. And the links there are under Facebook, Aldwyn Media Queen, and Media Queen TV on YouTube. So come and join us for that day. We've got 25 prizes, Anastasia Grace speaking. We've got Michael Firth, Tracey Korman, I'll be emceeing, and we'll be taking your questions and comments live. If you've enjoyed what you have seen today, please pop into the comments. What have you got from today's show? What have you learnt today? What's something maybe you're going to take on for yourself in a relationship moving forward? And Tracey, any other final words from you before we wrap up?
I'll be sharing these 25 tips, how to live your best life and have lasting love, and 25 prizes, so 25 giveaways as well. And anybody can get in touch to get a copy of these 25 tips, Aldwyn.
Beautiful. And the best place for people to connect with Two's Company is where? Where's the place to?
two'scompany.com.au. Probably that's the best place.
two'scompany.com.au, TWOS, two'scompany.com.au. Fantastic.
Or my office direct line, Aldwyn, is 0405 536 155. Almost gave out my personal number there.
Yeah. For a good time, call
the office line 0405 536 155 is my office
Fantastic.
line.
Fantastic. And for a good time, call Two's Company. Okay. For a good time. If you want to find
different industry for that.
If you want to find love, you want to find your ideal match, Tracey and Two's Company, the place to go, two'scompany.com.au. Check it out. Come and join us. We do like to have fun, don't we, Tracey? We like to have fun. We do. We do have a good laugh. As much as we've had our dark moments, we always tend to look on the bright side of life nowadays.
We've got the event coming up soon.
Yes, Disco Disciples. That'll be amazing. Yes, and Helen G from Disco Disciples actually recently performed at the Animal Action Night for Dogs that we had a 5-hour live stream, 15 plus performers. If you've missed it, then go to the Animal Action events page on Facebook. And thank you to Two's Company. You've been amazing supporters of the Animal Action events over the years. You've been such a great supporter. Really appreciate all the different events you've supported over time. And we do have amazing prizes for anyone who donates to the campaign for SEQ Canine Rescue, which is helping to save dogs from death row around Australia. Amazing cause that we are raising funds for over the next few weeks. So the link is in the chat, Animal Action Events on Facebook for that. And any final words, Tracey, before we wrap up? Thank you for those joining us. What did you get out of it? Pop in the chat if you like what you've seen. Share the love. Any final words, Tracey?
Yep, be good to you and others.
Nice. I like that. Be good to you and others. You deserve it. You are extraordinary. You're 1 in a billion just by being born. And I'd like you to know I love you. I truly, truly love you. Bring that to yourself. Bring that to others. Bring that love. Share that love. That's what the world needs now more than ever. We need love. And, of course, the event coming up November 6th, check it out, Two's Company 25th anniversary celebration. The link is in the chat here. And if you want to share more gratitude too, we have the Global Good News Challenge coming up in November as well, 5-day challenge, November 2 till 6 as well. Check out Global Good News Challenge if you want to find out more about that. If you're sick of the negative news out there and you're sick of how life is, then be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you so much, Tracey. Thank you for watching wherever you've joined us from. And remember to shine bright and light up all those around you. Here's to lots of love for you and your loved ones, and to beautiful, loving relationships. And congratulations again, Tracey Korman, Two's Company, for a beautiful 25th anniversary this year and celebration we have coming up. Thank you so much once again, and we will see you again soon, November 6th. We'll see you there. Bye for now.